I've got a question for you. Do we really need to reinvent the wheel? I know, the question may seem a little vague at first, so let me explain. Do we have to reinvent the wheel for a game to be genuinely fun and enjoyable? I'm almost certain your answer would be no, but then what exactly does a game need for someone to say that this is the one worth choosing over anything else, worth the hours, the effort and the commitment to finish it? So is the answer cutting-edge graphics, the kind that overwhelm you with detail and breathtaking effects? Or is it an incredible, brilliantly written story, full of twists that leave us speechless?
A man chooses, a slave obeys.
Maybe it's the soundtrack, music that makes you linger in an area just to keep listening to your favorite tracks a little longer. Creating a world you can wander freely, one you are free to explore at your own pace, right down to the last hidden dungeon. I feel like the answer still leans toward no. Maybe it actually lies in something far simpler, in the niches shaped by our own personal interests. Maybe it's about experiencing something that sends a shiver down your spine or makes the back of your head itch, like those liminal spaces do, seeing things you'd never get the chance to witness anywhere else, getting to view events from perspectives you could never have imagined, or the weird things that don't make any sense at all, or maybe it's the creative ideas themselves that pull you in. Or this.
Degenerates like you belong on a cross.
Whichever of these speaks to you, you might be completely right. Or maybe none of them fit, and the truth lies somewhere else entirely. I spent a lot of time thinking about this question, and if you don't mind, let me tell you how I see it. Do you remember the last time you felt that pure childlike joy? And I don't mean the quick bursts of happiness you get from a sugar rush or a massive paycheck. I mean the kind of joy where you completely switch off and everything slips out of your mind. The morning traffic you had to fight through just to get to work, your boss breathing down your neck like a maniac, the noisy neighbor upstairs.
Shut up!
Every little thing that usually drives you crazy. Moments when you are simply there, happy in the simplest possible way, grinning like a kid, feeling 6 years old again with absolutely nothing else on your mind. And that, I think, is what truly matters, and it's exactly what I felt again with the game we are talking about today. Attack of the Friday Monsters, A Tokyo Tale is one of those games that's perfect for a slow and gloomy Friday night. And since this video lands on a winter day, it actually fits pretty well. If you are on the couch wrapped up in a blanket, you can finish the whole thing just before your mulled wine even cools down. The funny thing is, the game itself takes place on a hot summer day, so even if you haven't seen the sun in a while, here it's shining straight into our eyes. And the cicadas won't let you forget what summer sounds like.
目を細めて風に揺れる白シャツの眩しさに見入る。青空に湧き上がった入道雲でさえかなわないその鮮やかさ、光。
The story follows Shota, whose family recently moved to Setagaya in a suburb called Fujinohana. He's 10 years old, and we spend the Friday with him, broken into 26 short episodes. But before we get to the big finale, the epic showdown between Cleanerman and Frankosaurus, the game starts with the most JRPG feeling quest ever, delivering the baker's freshly washed laundry. Once we step outside the dry cleaner that Shota's parents run, the game basically lets us roam however we want. It's worth checking every corner, looking under bridges, and slipping behind those weird fixed camera blind spots. You will want to grab every gleam you find because you actually need them to move the story forward. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna taste one of these gleams to see what they taste like. Tastes like my love life. Disappointing. Collect enough gleams of the same type and you get a monster card as a reward. With those, you can join the card game the local kids are obsessed with.
Oh man!
The cards themselves are super simple, basically rock, paper, scissors. Rock beats scissors, scissors beat paper, and paper beats rock. Each card also has a strength value for tiebreakers. Later on, there are combined cards that only lose to one specific type, and if you have duplicates, you can fuse them to make them stronger. During matches, both players place 5 cards face down. Before they are revealed, you get 2 hints about how things might go, and you can swap out 2 of your cards. Your opponent does the same. Then the cards flip, and whoever wins takes home extra gleams, and the loser becomes the other kid's servant. Winning also unlocks a little spell you can cast to knock them flat on the ground. In some parts of the story, it actually helps to have a few kids as your servants, because they will drop hints about what you should do next. The game itself is really simple, though. None of the kids are actually hard to beat. The whole spell thing sounds silly, right? That's because it is, but it makes perfect sense once you remember we are dealing with kids. Everything in the story, especially the monsters that show up later that afternoon, has to be seen through that lens. A kid's imagination can turn the smallest thing into powerful magic, or a couple of smoke clouds into giant creatures. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Well, well, well. How the turntables...
As we wander around town, we meet all the kids, each with a fitting nickname. A+, Ramen, Billboard. I'm pretty sure all of us had something like that growing up. Some nicknames we remember with a smile, and some we only think about at 2 in the morning, staring at the ceiling, wishing we could forget them again. And of course, no small town full of kids would be complete without that one weird older guy everyone whispers about. Here, that's Frank. Honestly, the kids shouldn't be worried about monsters on Friday night, they should be worried about people like him. Frank actually gives us a lot of useful info throughout the story, and the big reveal is tied to him as well. But I'm not spoiling any of that here. If the game clicks for you, 2 short hours are all you need to see everything yourself. There's also a small TV studio in town, and they are the ones broadcasting the local kaiju show. There's a shed full of props tucked away somewhere, and even the show's writer lives here. All of these hints at how real these monsters might be, what's going on behind the scenes, and why the monster card game is such a big deal among the kids. Even the story's main quest is really just them playing detectives, and Shota even gets accepted into the Space Defense Department, proudly showing off the badge on his back.
任命状。我々は勇敢なる少年隊員の協力に感謝する。 そうだ、君
Wow, she just keeps talking.
宇宙局少年隊員の資格を得たのだ。このワッペンこそその栄誉の証である。この崇高なるワッペンを身につけたその時から、君の栄
Please?
光に満ちた戦いの物語は始まったのだ。この町、いや、この東京都、いや、この日本。
Hey,
いやいやいや、この太陽系第三惑星を
is this ever gonna end?
数多くの脅威に立ち向かい、平和を守り通せるかはまさに今誕生した勇気ある
Where the hell are these chocolates even coming from?
君の貢献にかかっているのだ。
Hey,
惑星を守れ、太陽系を
please, I would really like to say something
銀
too.
河を救うのだ。我々は君のさらなる健闘を心の底からかなり
So,
大いに
oh, come
祈
on!
っている。輝ける防衛宇宙局
Okay, lady, please just get to the point
これから
already.
も宇宙の平和のために大いに活躍してほしい。救え、第三惑星こちら防衛宇宙局。以上。
Finally, my turn. And now I completely forgot what I wanted to say. And that's all this game really is. I keep calling it a game, but it's basically a visual novel with a few small gameplay bits. So why did I bring up that question at the start of the video? The answer is simple. Even with such a tiny, stripped down setup, it got me to play it twice without ever feeling like I was wasting my time. I had a smile on my face the whole way through, and it reminded me of those summers when all I had to worry about was hanging out with my friends and getting home before dark. The sound design is fantastic. Different parts of town have different ambient noises. The train rattling along the tracks, crossing signals, cicadas, TV and radio sounds drifting out of open windows. Visually, the game looks great too. The static backgrounds are beautiful, and I love that you can follow the passing train thanks to the changing camera angles. And that huge fight at the end, surprisingly well animated, with the camera shifting to make it feel messy. Altogether, it feels like a cute, self-contained experience, almost like a tiny interactive Ghibli short. Some camera angles are genuinely gorgeous. My favorite is the scene with the bridge and the swing, glowing orange in the sunset. That swing moment is the highlight of the whole game. Shota trying to say big fancy words he clearly can't pronounce, messing them up, and the two kids slowly getting to know each other. It's genuinely adorable, and the voice acting, really nice. The intro song is cute, and the ending is cute too. This is a 2-hour game, and somehow I talk about it more than anything I've ever covered on this channel. I just hope a few people watching think, alright, this actually sounds nice, I will give it a try, and start googling where to buy the cartridge. Well,
Surprise, motherfucker!
all you get for your effort is a big middle finger. The game never had a physical release.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, fine, so let's grab it from the eShop, right? Yeah, that's when Nintendo gives you the middle finger, because the 3DS eShop is gone. Buying an account from someone who already owns it.
You're going to find that rather difficult.
So yeah, after all that, I basically hype you up for a game you can't even get anymore. Another one lost somewhere in the depths of the internet. Or, I don't know, I've heard manifestation is supposed to work if you really want something, so maybe if you all manifest hard enough, this game might actually become available again, one way or another. And that's exactly what annoys me. Games like this never get a physical release or a re-release to preserve them for the future, but all the license throwaway stuff and shovelware somehow always does. No, that's not good enough. I feel like I have to do something. This game deserves more. You know what? Fine, I will make a physical release myself. At least then it will be sitting proudly on my shelf. Now the real question is, which 3DS game am I gonna sacrifice for the case? Okay, definitely not this one. Let's go with this instead. Do you smell that? That's the smell of a montage.